deal with the kids. Yeah, well, people don't even know her. There's nobody even watching. But since you don't have a, well, you can pin it to your rat tail. Or your shirt collar. But I will take a second here and see if I can look at everything on my iPad. Oh, I can. Hell yeah. Hell of a delay. That one night I got on here and there was no delay.
Well, like you said in the barn here, it seems on and off a little bit.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Oh, we got one viewer and it's myself.
I could put mine on.
You get through. Oh, we get two?
Yeah.
You can grab the smoke, grab the ashtray, dude. It's all good. At least I'll be able to see the chat here somewhere. Maybe. How do I see the chat on here? You think I would know how to do this by now? Oh, there we go. I got it.
You usually get.
Oh, Deb Rose is on already. What's up, Deb? She's a real one. Oh God, I have to have it. Okay, there's the chat will be over here, so we can read that. But yeah, we're both in there. Okay, let me grab one more drink.
Oh, it's a little behind. I get it.
We're just using that for the chat anyway. So Deb, can you let us know how the audio, is the audio clear? Because we have the fan on max over here because it's hot. It is really hot. So
testing.
Test. Is the audio okay? And what about the visual? Hopefully it is. It's clear tonight. It should be fine. What are we guys doing? We are about to have a little interview. This is one of my knife throwing friends. He's here visiting from Canada. Where at in Canada again?
Victoria,
yeah.
Vancouver Island.
Okay, so yeah, most of the knife throwers that I know, scoot over this way a little bit. Most of the knife throwers that I know from Canada are like directly above me, like Indiana, Michigan, and then directly above like
Ottawa. Yeah.
Yeah, Ottawa.
Sort of.
Toronto.
Good old Ontario.
Yeah. So, anyway, Aahmes has been here since, we've been here 8 days.
Yeah.
So, it's been absolutely incredible having him here. We've had a lot of fun. We actually just got back from the WWK throw, the Women with Knives group. They have their annual championships in Holland, Michigan, and it's called the Battle of the Blade Maidens. And what an incredible weekend, and I thought you might like it, and I'm glad that you were able to go and see.
Yeah, no, it was an amazing community. Super cool just to see so many styles of throwing.
Yeah.
And like super efficient setup. The range was beautiful.
They've been doing it a while, man. They've gotten, as a matter of fact, we've learned a few things from them for Dangerfest.
Right.
So, yeah, man, I really enjoy going every year. I think this is our 5th year going, and we go there and help score and teach, mentor, whatever, basically. But
and it's just fun to be around so many people that are like dedicated and like their heart's in it.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, the knife throwing community is, it's hard to explain, man. And what they've done up there was 95 women that competed this year, and I know that's the biggest they've ever had. And I don't know, I just love going up there and helping out. And just sharing the love of knife throwing. I didn't record as much as I have done in the past because the hell they had Dawn's daughter. I saw her edit put out, or someone's edit. I mean, I'm assuming that was her edit, and it blows mine away. I'm still pretty dumb when it comes to editing things like professionally, but I did manage to record most of the fast draw tournament that went on today. I got the semifinals and the finals at least. So
and that was exciting.
Yeah, that was very cool. Yeah,
it's exciting.
The women really. I don't know. The fast draws is pretty cool, man. But let me check some. Okay, looks good. Sounds good. Okay, cool. Okay, so people that are asking questions about knife throwing in the comments, after we do this short, maybe 30, 40-minute interview with my buddy Aahmes here, we are going to stop the stream, and then we're going to start it again, and we are going to throw. We are both exhausted. It's been a long weekend, but we are going to throw at least one more time together, just because why not? He's not going to be here. Who knows, when's the next time you're going to be here. I mean, Danger Fest, but we won't be able to get together to do this. Okay, so, excuse me. Okay, so tell everybody your name, where you're from, how old you are, where you've been throwing, how long you've been throwing, what you got you into throwing, all that shit. If you
all right. So, Aahmes DeSchutter, Victoria, Vancouver Island, Canada, 47, and I've been throwing. August will be 2 years. I like any cool kid, you throw something shiny and sharp when you're young, in the backyard or whatever. Steak knives were always good. And then in my late 20s, I found a throwing knife in my closet and was like, damn, I should learn this more. So I got that out.
Whose do you think that was?
Oh, it was mine.
Oh,
it was mine, but it was from like
from
probably
when you were a kid.
When I was like 8 or something.
Oh, wow.
Some random one.
Damn.
I think
Okay.
my neighbor gave me.
Yeah.
And it was a Gil Hibben. One of the little Gil Hibben blades, like 7-inch or something.
Yep.
And then like I like anything that's like mind-body connection. It's just like you have to think about what you're doing until you can make it instinctive, and that's just like getting the body on par. And it's like you can only experience that in certain things in life, and it's an escape. You get to go in the zone and just like be happy.
Yeah.
And that's I got obsessed with it. I throw for the last year for sure, minimum 10 hours a week. And it's just like slightly obsessed, but at the same time, it's just like, it's my fun time, my meditative time.
Yeah.
And it's amazing.
It allows you to just focus on that and that alone.
Yeah.
Whatever else in the world's going on, you're not worried about any of that. You're just focusing on the task at hand.
Yeah.
Whether that be doing a trick shot, or accuracy, or being consistent.
Yeah.
There's just so
learning
many different
something
things.
new.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And just being with it, being with the blade. It's good, and it's metaphorical, right? You start to see how it tangents off into your other parts of your life. And you just kind of can take those lessons somewhere else, and I like that. It's good.
It's taught me patience.
Yeah.
Especially with
dedication.
Especially
patience.
with teaching other people over the years. I've taught so many people over the years, man. And I used to not be so patient, and I just kind of learned that everybody learns differently, man. And you just kind of gotta find. It's not, it's my problem, really. You just gotta figure out how they learn and adjust to them, because everybody's different, man.
Yep.
So that's been something that I've.
Well, that's the cool thing, because you get to discover. Like, I'm pretty easygoing, but it did make me realize, like, I'm a stubborn person sometimes.
Yeah, I did. Same.
And
same.
But thankfully I've noticed, at least I try to use it in like a motivating way. And it kind of just like, so kind of like, at first I go, oh, stubborn, it doesn't sound good. But now I kind of like,
I think I could
kind
be
of
a
proud
good-
of it almost.
Yeah,
because
dude.
it gets me to
You persevere.
stay out there and get that shit done. And it's,
And you learn a lot along the way.
yeah.
And I know you're talking about trick shots in particular, right?
Yeah, true. But even just grinding away, like trying to hit a target,
Yeah.
like, you know,
Or like a bottle cap or
yeah,
something.
and it's just like, or just hitting that nickel over and over, you
Yeah.
know, like, or the best you can out of 10 or whatever. It puts a kick in your step, and you feel good the next day. And,
oh, dude, the accomplishment.
yeah.
You know, yeah.
And it
dude,
doesn't matter
that's-
if anyone else cares.
No.
You know,
you're doing
it's
it
nice.
for yourself.
But at the same time, like, yeah, it really is something that you can have for yourself,
Yeah.
which is super cool.
How many throwing knives do you think you have, dude?
I'm a minimalist.
Yeah.
I'd say right now I'm probably sitting at 21.
That's pretty small.
Yeah.
You've only been in it for 2 years, though.
Yeah.
And how many sets of knives do you have, or all those singles? Do you even have a set?
Ha. I have one set,
Which one is it?
stilettos.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
interesting.
And actually, no, and I have one other set. I'm just missing one at the moment. But I do have a set of bullet trains.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, do you think that you're going to buy more sets now? Because he was never primarily a competitive thrower, so he never had any use for a set until he came to Danger Fest last year for the first time, and he had an amazing time.
Yes.
And so, do you see the advantage of having a set?
So part of it is I'm fussy, and I don't have the availability to see it in the flesh. So I just went, okay, I think I like this length, this weight. It looks cool, or it's it fits into my style of what I like. And so I get one of those, and then just try them out, and you either discover, oh, you love it or you don't. Or you're like, oh, I love it, and then you don't like it, and then you love it again. So it's, and now I feel like I'm at the point where I can commit to like, what do I actually like? Like, what do I like for roto? There's many things I can appreciate
Sure.
and want to have.
Sure.
But I think now I'm at the point where I'm kind of dedicated, like, this is what I like to throw for this. At least for now. At least till after the next competition.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of where my focus is going.
So, since you've been here and you've had access to all my knives,
Yeah.
have you found a set that you're going to buy, or you think that you want to get, or something?
Sadly, I like the major custom stuff
That's cool. That's fine.
that are one-offs that you can't get.
Oh, well,
Right?
yeah, that's tough. That's tough.
But I do have a set of 6 that I designed that Prince Steel is going to make, Lewis. Right?
But you don't know. You're going to have 6 made?
Oh, hell yeah. I'm committed. I've put so much effort and time
Okay, all right.
that
What
like
if
I
you-
spent months
You're
trying
sure,
to figure out
You're
what I
sure
would
this
like.
is going to be the one?
Yeah.
I hope so,
to the point, to the point where I came here, and out of all your knives that I tried, like tried pretty much almost all of them, the 2 that I like the most, or the 2 sets, are like very, very similar in weight and shape and size of what I'm getting made.
Yeah.
But if I was going to buy another set right now, it would be a toss-up. I would say your 12-inch dashies.
Yeah, really?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
Because those are in between my roto and what I like for no spin and half spin.
Yeah.
And
yeah, those are sick, dude.
yeah, and they're like really, like literally right in between.
Yes.
And so it would be like super versatile. I could use
Yeah.
it for almost anything.
Now, those are 1/4 inch thick.
Yeah.
You like the quarter.
Yeah.
Because I think the 12-inch would be rad in 3/16.
It
but
would.
I don't mind that thickness.
You know me, I like a little
Yeah, you do
little
like a
weight,
little heft. Yeah,
little weight.
Yeah. We're a little different in that aspect. I like a little bit of light. But it's all personal preference, man.
Yeah, like I appreciate the light because the light starts, like I would say if, this is how my mind works. If I was going to say between self-defense and hunting, I would want something that I know has some oomph, but I would want it on the light side for self-defense. And I would probably lean slightly towards the weight for the hunting. Just because hunting, I feel like
I need more.
A little more oomph. You want to know you have that clean.
I kind of feel like that's the same thing.
Clean kill, and it's like when you're hunting, like this object's usually still. I'm thinking big game, right? But with self-defense, like man, you want like no movement. You want that that's why like an underhand is good or whatever. Like just a little sidearm. You can have small, quick movements with a lighter tool, and it's just snappy, quick, and impact. Speed is king, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
So that's where it depends where you're going. Right?
Okay. All right. I like that. Let me cruise through some of these. Yeah. Never mind. So, we are mirroring because we're looking at the camera. That's why. So I can read the comments. So, yeah. Anyway, there's nothing good on there. So you came to Danger Fest last year for the first time. Can you speak on that a little bit for people that have not come or people that are a little turned off by the word competition?
Yeah. So I went there. I definitely have a competitive side. If I'm going to do something, I at least want to represent myself well and at least stand at near the top or something. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it's like you can read everything and know the distances, know your height of target. Have people on Instagram that you've talked to but you don't really know. And you show up and it's it's not necessarily what that reality is, right? In the way that it's you go, okay, this seems similar, but I'm used to throwing up by myself, right? You got 13 lanes, you got knives flying on both sides
everywhere.
Of you, right?
It's a whole,
and it's just okay, this is a different environment. Mm-hmm. Plus, you got some mental stuff going on, a little bit here and there. But all that stuff aside, the interesting thing is before I went, I talked to Matt Todd, right? Mm-hmm. And, his thing is just he just loves the social, communal part and and just throwing knives.
Yes.
And just being there, right? And being present. And
he doesn't care so much about the competitive part of it at all. Yeah, he's just there for the camaraderie. Yeah, and I miss him, man. He wasn't, unfortunately, he had a lot of unfortunate events happen right before Danger Fest, and I totally understand. I've gone through the same exact shit that he went through. Yeah. And I hopefully he comes back again. Yeah. But
but with that, it's it just kind of put in my mind of that is a side of it that I'd never get to experience. And that's what, at the end of it all, that was had the most impact. It was what do you call it? Afterwards, you get the blues or whatever?
There's the after throw blues.
Yeah, and it is true.
It's a weird thing.
It's because it's, you get to go to this place, hundreds of people, all walks of life, all sorts of different styles of throwing, all different levels, and none of it matters. Everyone there is just have a good time, support each other, and throw knives. And it's as simple as that. And it's like there's a spiritual part to it where it's just like it hits the heart.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. It's super cool.
Yeah, it's really hard to explain to the people that haven't been, and all you have to do is just come and experience it, man.
And it makes your throwing, no matter who you are, I think you leave better.
Oh, dude.
You leave better.
You will learn more in a weekend.
And you want to learn.
Yeah.
Like, you want to get better.
And everybody is really helpful.
Yeah.
Everybody, that's one of the coolest things about knife throwing that I've never really experienced, like, team sports or anything like that, but I've heard from other people that say that's not a thing. People do not just share knowledge the way that we do.
Yeah.
Everybody's super helpful and like, hey man, do you mind if I try your knives? Of course.
Yeah.
Or people are just offering their stuff, and that's the other thing. That's the other thing that's really, really cool about going to the throws is you get to put your hands on hundreds of knives that you've seen online.
Yeah, from all over the world.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, one of my favorite moments there was Tony, Lewis, and JW and I, we just like tried each other's, like I tried probably 50 different knives that night. Yeah. And we stayed up till 5 a.m.
Yeah.
And it was just like, just talking the shit and throwing, and it was amazing. It was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I remember my first time going, it was at Joe's throw.
Okay.
And, I've seen all these people that I've been talking to for months and months and months online.
Yeah.
And that was the time that we got in trouble for being too loud. Because Joe's throw is in a small backyard.
Yes.
In a neighborhood, and we were being way too loud, dude. Yeah. So we got yelled at by Sue that night. But, it's that's one thing we got at Daterfest. No matter how loud you are or how long you stay up, we got room for you. But, yeah, it's just, I don't know, there's just something incredible. I don't know, it's just hard to explain. But I guess, like, I don't know, there's a lot of different other communities like that. Like, I don't know,
There is, but it's, I think it's difficult to just enter a community out of nowhere and it's just so rare that the ego is dropped. That is just so uncommon. And I think that's
for most people.
Yeah. And that's one of the biggest things. Like, it's rare that you get to experience that anywhere in life, right? So it's, at least that was my experience, right? Mm-hmm. And so it just makes you want to, like, spread good vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's an experience.
Yeah,
it's cool.
It is, dude. Hell yeah. I'm glad you had a good time.
Yeah, even when I got home, my wife was like, "Oh shit, like, you had too good of a time," right? Like she could tell just like I was just in a better mood, even.
Really?
Just from day to day.
That's cool, man.
Yeah. So it just rubs off on you,
I wish I could say I was in a better mood. I put on the fucking thing.
Yeah.
Dude.
It's work though.
It's just
work.
So much work for me.
Yeah.
It's a lot mentally. It's a lot for me mentally. And actually,
it's your child too, right?
It's my baby, dude.
Yeah.
And last year was the easiest I've ever had it.
Yeah.
The only thing that bummed me out about it was a couple people had a bad time, and it's impossible for me to have 150 people have a good time.
Yep.
But I'm trying, man, and it bums me out. I just saw this comment here. I have to address it real quick.
Yeah.
How often do you guys shower? I'm guessing every 2 weeks. You guys kind of got us here because we just got back from a throw and I have not showered since Friday. So fuck you.
Yeah, and actually,
how about that? Fuck you.
Yeah, I went 2 days.
I'm about to shower here in a few minutes though.
I went 2 days, and then actually I had an amazing garden hose shower last night at 2 a.m. in the morning. So that was great.
What's up, Jeff? How's it going, dude? Do a desk pop. Oh, man, there's just a bunch of fucking idiots in the comments tonight.
Yeah.
Other than Jeff and Deb. Okay, man. Dude, I'm sorry. I'm kind of out of it. usually have some questions. Is there anything you want to add? Like, I can't even fucking, I'm sorry, dude. I mean, I've got my little sheet here.
Yeah. I think it's important for people to know that are curious or interested that it is, you can make it whatever you want it to be. It doesn't have to have a certain label. You know,
there's room for everybody.
I would say like 90% of the time, because I don't have, you know, the ultimate throjo, that literally I throw in a public park.
Yeah.
Right? And
dude, I think it's so rad that you are passionate, man. You go out there and you do the fucking thing.
And it's so I get questions all the time. And
do you enjoy answering that stuff?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Do people come at you a little weird sometimes?
Yeah, I get from one end of the spectrum to the other, you know, and it's but in general, it's also like, it also lets you know that like it literally can be anything you want it to be. You know, you can try to make it just a good old fun time. You can have it as a moving meditation where it like just lets you let go of the day. You can try to become the best in the world.
Yep.
You know, you can try to, you know, like when I started, my main thing was like, I just want to pick something up and throw it.
Yeah.
I just want to throw anything.
Mm-hmm.
And it and since then it's kind of just evolved, right? There's like,
sure,
I want to get better at a certain style, or I want to be able to compete more.
Consistency.
You know, consistency, yeah. You know,
accuracy.
And it and so you just go through these learning curve, and then it's your own journey, and then you get to share it with others, and
that's one of my favorite things about it, is sharing with others.
Yeah.
Just like over the weekend, man, you know, helping out some of those women. They've never thrown no spin in their lives. And, you know, I got that one chick to throw a couple bullseyes, and she threw 5 meters, man.
Yeah.
And, you know, her face just lit up, dude. Like, she never thought she could ever do that, you know, and it's just such a rewarding thing to teach, dude.
Totally.
I you know, I love it. I love sharing my experience and showing people what you're capable of.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Like,
yeah.
They're like, oh, I can never do that. Well, yes, you could.
Yeah.
You know how many hours I've spent doing this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yes, you can,
I
too.
talked to a couple people last night at the throw about that, where it's like, that's why it's amazing to videotape yourself. Because you get to see what you're doing. But
Highly
also,
recommend it.
you can, you know, I went back and just, because I had to clear my phone, you know, and I went back and like just saw some of the first throws I did. And I was like, whoa. Like, I never thought I'd get to this point. And I want to get farther. So it's just like, it's super cool.
Yeah. Hell, if I go back and look at my oldest videos, for the first 4 or 5 years, maybe 4 or 5 years, I threw rotational only.
Okay.
Only. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
So to see where I'm at with the instinctive throwing, I'm pretty stoked on that.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know. I looked up to so many old school throwers, man. I don't know. It's not a lot of them. All I wanted was recognition.
Yep.
Just, you know, and not a lot.
Well, that is
giving that to me.
That is probably one of the. I think that's one of the most rewarding things to be able to have. Not necessarily always the easiest to receive or get, or be given, but it is what I think, like, more likely is the main goal for anyone, really.
Yeah.
You know, is like being able to be accepted and like pumped up and stoked by your peers.
Yeah.
Right.
I've gotten it from a few people, and that's meant a lot to me.
Yeah. You've gotten it from a lot of people, but there's the human side where you would appreciate it from specific people.
Yeah.
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 Which I get. It's because
But the old school guys,
it's like any art form.
Yeah.
We have people that lit that torch kind of thing and just fucking made, like, even if you didn't know them,
Yeah.
it just made it, holy shit.
I'm trying to carry the torch, man.
Yeah.
But I'm a different generation.
Yeah.
And I'm of the social media generation.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'm trying to promote it that way. And they may not see, I don't know, they may not appreciate what I'm doing or how I'm doing it. And that bums me out sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's just the new generation.
But that also usually happens to the people that are taking it to the next level, right? You look at any person in history,
Yeah.
usually, look at Bruce Lee, like,
Oh, dude.
as if he was liked,
Wow.
right, from certain predecessors.
Yeah, he was not liked.
Yeah.
Dude, that's a good point right
But
there.
that's
a good point.
But he's, you have a similar mindset, I think, where you've played around with all angles and all styles of throwing, and you can appreciate them all, and you've specialized in the ones you really like, and that's the thing to do. And then you're spreading it and sharing it.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying to do my best. I just got to do what I do, and I don't know, man. Okay, the one thing that I would like for you to show, so Joe Dara is a local, a legend, a hero, mentor of mine, and Aahmes ordered a custom Eck knife. If you know who Eck is, John Eck, I believe his name was.
Yeah.
And he had several different variations of combative knives, and Joe has been making his own Eck knife, throwing knives throughout the years, and he ordered a custom one, and this one is sick, dude. This one is got aluminum handle scales. I'm gonna give you a close-up of this. And if you are a knife collector, you need to get yourself one of these. It's signed, it's hard to see. Yeah, I don't know if I can be able to show you that. It's signed by Joe Dara. He always engraves, there's the laser side, Joe Dara. And this knife right here is an incredible knife. I'm glad you were able to get one, dude. I'm glad that all worked out.
It is, it's when, you're getting top tier, and it's a little piece of history. The person that's making it is part of the history, and it's, I like simple, efficient,
dude, that's
tool
what throwing
that's made
knives
for the
are.
job.
That's what most throwing knives are.
Yeah,
They're
but I mean,
simple.
some people get crazy with them, right?
Yeah,
but
you don't need to.
You don't need to, and
Look,
it's
dude,
just
they're
makes
almost
the
same
flight.
balance point. Pretty close.
That's crazy.
Pretty close, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is aluminum.
Yeah, that's true.
And the pins are about the same size. These are brass. I'm not sure if you used I don't know what kind of pins he used.
I'm assuming aluminum, but maybe steel.
I don't know.
Slightly different, maybe.
You just got to be careful with whack. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I know.
I don't know how long those. If that's aluminum pins, that's not good.
Yeah.
Hopefully he used steel.
Yeah.
It would also been. It's cool that they're ghosted, because he smoothed them out that way. It would kind of been cool to have a contrast of copper.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or whatever, or brass, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Here's my American. Yeah. I'm gonna be throwing this on the 4th of July.
But super versatile knife. You know?
Dude. Yeah.
And just beautifully made.
Yeah, look at that, man. Yeah, they're nice. They're nice, dude. What a cool design. I'm really happy you got one, man. And
yeah,
like I said,
and I have to thank you.
Yeah,
thank you a lot for that, for helping
I'm
me
happy
out
to
there.
help, dude. Yeah, wow, look how thin that is compared.
Yeah.
Yeah, damn. But, yeah, little handle heavy, you just gotta adjust a little bit if you're gonna be throwing these roto. Yeah. All right, how long we've been going here? We're just gonna be doing a little quick. How long have we been going? Okay, 35 minutes. Okay. Sorry, I wasn't more prepared for this, dude. We may do another one eventually.
That's all right, yeah.
But toward the end of every podcast I do, when I'm interviewing people, I'm going to be giving them some rapid fire questions. and I started this with actually Ziggy a few weeks ago, and I changed the last question, but it's just going to be kind of rapid fire questions, just to kind of get to know you a little better. And we're about the same age, so most of the people that are in the knife throwing community generally are 35 to 50, which is really weird. We're trying to get more kids involved. Hopefully one day, there are a few kids that are involved, but they're also involved in like school sports.
It's amazing, like, because I think we come from a time period where, like, you played sports, sure, but it was a seasonal thing. Where now it's like, if you want, you can play
year round.
Baseball year round, hockey all year round.
Well,
right?
it's also one after the other too. Like, for example, Aiden.
Yeah.
He's in all of them. It sounds like.
Yeah.
Basketball. I don't know if he's in basketball, but football, baseball, and archery.
Archery.
Yeah, which is, I think it's rad. I wish they would have had archery available when I was in school.
Yeah.
Or even knife throwing. Wow, how cool would that be?
That would be
As a matter of fact, dude, I think they might have it in Russia in certain places.
Oh,
dude, knife throwing is a lot bigger than you think in Russia.
Yes.
It's damn near a national
Europe
sport.
in general.
Yeah,
I think culturally, it's just more accepted as like you're going to do something. It's not this aggressive thing.
Right.
It doesn't have to be, right?
Right. Okay, rapid fire. Heads or tails?
Heads is always safer.
Interesting. Push or pull?
Pull.
Ooh. Do you have a favorite G.I. Joe character?
Oh.
You remember that cartoon?
Yeah.
All right.
I would go with, I always get them confused.
The ninjas?
Yeah. Who's the white one?
Snake Eyes or Storm Shadow?
It's always an argument.
Dude, I know.
I'm kind of
I love them both.
Yeah, I'm kind of on Storm Shadow side.
Yeah. Okay, I like that. Favorite Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle?
Red guy.
Raphael.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think rollerblading is cool?
Not really. Not really.
There's a hidden meaning behind that.
Yeah.
Do you like instinctive?
It gets your ass tight though.
Do you like instinctive or conventional?
Instinctive.
Okay.
Yeah. I have a soft spot for conventional, for sure, and I love it.
There's a time and a place.
But
that's how I feel it.
Yeah. I lean on. When I started, I was like, I want to learn instinctive.
Yeah. If someone asked me, I would say both, dude. Yeah. Because I started off instinctive, conventional.
Same with me.
And then I just, dude. The accuracy with conventional is unmatched.
It's unmatched, and it's like just from this weekend, you realize, you think it's this robotic like puzzle that you figure out, and then you're like, okay, that's it, and you're done. And it's like, no. If you want to get into, it's like, damn, there are details. Yeah. Details, and it's like
people talk shit about it that don't know anything about it.
I would say,
well, I don't want to have to marks on the ground.
I would say there's more to it almost than instinctive. Instinctive is like, because you can make instinctive your own, and it can kind of be funky, but still be good. Mm-hmm. Where you can do that with conventional, but it really helps to have specific foundation, sort of fundamentals going on.
Okay, is knife throwing useful for combat or self-defense?
Yes, especially from our experiment the other day.
I think it's dumb to think no.
Yeah.
The main argument is never give away your only weapon.
Yep.
Duh. But there are certain circumstances in which you would need to create space, to get away.
Yep.
There are so many. Yes, never throw in your only weapon. That's what old U.S. Army guys say. They always like, oh, I served and never throw. Yes, of course.
And that means you're not very good, also.
Amen. There you go. Amen. All right. Do you have a favorite weapon?
Favorite weapon out of anything?
Yeah.
Probably just a knife.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite knife, throwing or otherwise?
I'm a close-up personal kind of guy. What's this?
Do you have a favorite knife, like throwing knife or otherwise?
Woo! To like, to narrow that down to one.
Yeah.
I would say.
Or you could say one or favorite throwing knife and favorite knife in general, or
Yeah.
whatever.
So okay. So I'm gonna say for just knife, favorite. What's the little Japanese?
Tonto?
Yeah.
Japanese Tonto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tonto.
Like the baby tooth.
But legit.
I know.
Old school.
Yeah. That's dope. That's dope.
And then for throwing knife. Woo.
There's a lot to choose from.
Yeah, I would say, at least from my experience up to this day, would be this style. Would be this style for sure. Because to this
straight.
Yeah, to this day, I would say the Loose Prince
Stiletto.
It's just been like
Straightforward.
the knife I can pick up. I can throw literally every style with
Yes.
it. And
That's how I feel about
and
the
it's
Griffin.
just like I like a smooth knife so it doesn't catch on anything.
Yeah.
I can be fast. I can
Yeah.
move with it.
Perfect example.
Yeah.
Right there. Perfect example. All right, last question, man. If you had to do your Mount Rushmore of knife throwers, who would be your top 4?
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not
With the people that you know.
With the people that I know.
You know what I mean? Like you've
Yeah.
done your research. You've watched people on the internet.
I'm bad with names though.
All right. Well, you tell me, and I'll try to
Okay.
do my best to.
So I would say Ralph Thorne.
Okay.
Just because
He's a legend.
Yeah,
he started.
I actually don't. I got to be honest. I know pretty much almost nothing about him, but
I can show you some old videos of him that you love.
yeah, but he carried a movement part of it, and kind of a wacky style that just had an impression on me when I was younger.
Yeah.
And we're talking 18 years or 19 years ago, right? And so that would be one.
Okay. That's a good answer.
I would say impression on me, eh?
Lester Floor,
I don't know him very well.
the right hand, left hand dude. You got to watch some more of his videos. Dude.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yes. Yeah. No, I would
We
say...
talked about him over the weekend.
I would say that he was probably one of the first people that I saw that had a style that made sense to me. Because I'm so into physical body movement stuff that I'm a visual learner that when I watched him, I went, oh, okay. This I can break down, I get it, I understand why it's working, and he's done a really good job
And
with
his
it.
right and left hand are the best I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah. What's his name?
Lester Floor.
Yeah. I
It's
told you, I'm a
backwards.
face guy. If I saw him on the
It's
street, I'd be like,
backwards.
hey, you're blah, blah, blah.
But his name is backwards on Instagram.
Right.
And he also hasn't posted it in almost 3 years.
Yes.
I don't know why.
That's true.
Hopefully he's still alive. I would love to talk to him at some point.
And his setup is pretty.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And his accuracy is good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay, so we got 2. Ralph Thorne and Lester Floor.
Yep. And I would have to say I'm a softie for sidearm.
Ah.
And so I'd have to say Olga.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember you mentioning her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because of her, how did
just-
you describe it?
Just because her how she retracts and stuff, it's just it's just really rounded shape. It's like She's just doing a circle.
Yeah.
And it's just
Once
rhythm.
you said that, I was like, man, yes.
It's
yes,
just
she
rhythm.
does throw that way.
And it's different than other person that throws scamp.
Yeah.
Like as out of all the people I've watched, at least, I appreciate that style.
Yeah, she's pretty incredible. She's also really hot.
And it helps, like just watching her visually helped me learn half spin.
Really?
And then from half spin helped me learn no spin, and vice versa, and and then I have to put you up there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man.
Thanks, man.
Huge imprint. Oh yeah.
Thanks, dude. I appreciate that.
And
wow.
like I told you when I first showed up, my favorite video, probably out of all the ones I've seen, is just you and Ace, just throwing.
Dude, I didn't even think that was a good video. I thought.
Well, I know, and most people are like probably bored by it, but to me, it's just like I said, I love movement. Like for me, if I'm gonna go watch a sport, and I'm watching pros, watching them warm up is like you learn that like
Really?
This is something different. Like this is like a different level. And it so from you guys just doing walkbacks one after the other?
Dude, I thought that if I had to put that video anywhere in my it would be very, very low.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, I just wasn't throwing that great that day, and yes, we were throwing and hitting some, but I don't know.
There might be more than one of those videos out there
maybe.
too.
Yo,
right?
okay, yeah, I think there is. He's
Right.
come to my house a couple different times.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's also like because to me, how I look at that video, from all the other things I've done, all martial arts and blah, 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 it's like, if you have the fundamentals down that clean, with some accuracy, some power, like the efficiency, you can go do whatever else. And and you might have to learn a little bit, but it's like, it's in the bank. You'll figure it out. Got it.
Yeah.
Right? And like,
Yeah.
it's because you've gone deep enough that you just make it your own. You can learn anything after that.
Yeah. Thanks for mentioning me, man. That means a lot. I just people always say, I like this part of knife throwing, or I like this part of knife throwing. Well, if you stick around long enough, you should be able to say, I like all of it, because it's all knife throwing, dude.
Yes.
There's each one of those things contributes to the other somehow. Even just like picking up a knife and feeling it. It's just like there's so many different little things that, you never stop learning.
Yeah.
It never ends, dude. No one is a master at knife throwing.
No,
there are people that are very good at knife throwing, but I don't think anyone's a master.
Yeah, and it's the never-ending journey.
Yeah, dude.
Right, and that's what makes
like
it
martial arts or.
Yeah, it makes it. That's what I don't know. To me, that's what makes it awesome.
Yeah.
And it's just. I don't know, it just has an impact. It just makes it what it is.
Well, we got Gabriel in here, Atrocious Proxy, Shane. Thanks for watching, everybody. Yeah, we're just going to wrap this up. And Larry Mayer, what's up, dude? How's it going, man? We miss you guys.
Hey,
buddy. So stay tuned. We're going to take a 10-minute break, and we're going to come right back. And since I have him for one more day, we got to take him to the airport tomorrow. We might as well get one more session of throwing in, so we've had so much fucking fun. So having you here, and
I achieved every goal that I wanted to while I was here.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is absolutely great, man. I'm glad.
Yeah.
I even, my yard needs mowed so bad because I just put it off because I had to work all week and he was here. And, it was awesome that Gabriel came. I think it was Tuesday.
Yeah.
He was here Tuesday, so I was like, okay, awesome. You guys can play. You guys can hang out and utilize this space.
He was awesome to hang out with.
Because we bought this property for this pole barn, and it's awesome to have my friends come over here and use it. This is why I bought it. This is why I have all these knives on the wall. This is why I built all these targets. So me and my friends can come here and get better and hang out, have a good time, make content. you know, and it is.
I was up till 4 a.m. pretty much every night.
Yeah.
Just to enjoy it.
I'm glad that you did, because I felt bad. I was like, dude, I gotta go to work. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. So I got home at 5, and then I had about 5, well, you know, maybe 5-6 hours to hang out with the Meese. And then Gabriel came. Dude, Gabriel came his first day. I was like, hey man, what's up? We're about to throw into a cow head. I just shook the motherfucker's hand, and then I was like, we got a cow head we're throwing into, and he was like, what? And I was like, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
So and
he throws hard and well, and he's a good person.
Yeah. He's a good thrower, and it was really awesome to have him here. He's never stretched his legs as far as throwing distance, and I showed him instinctive one spin, and you know, it was just really cool. And hopefully, Gabriel, you can come to Dangerfest and get the whole experience, man.
Yes.
Even if you can, you know, it's only Friday to Sunday. So, you know, if you can work it out with your situation, let me know if we can help. We help everybody. We help several people every year, and maybe we can help you too. So, all right, man. Thanks a lot, dude. I really appreciate it. Thanks for the interview.
Thank you.
And stay tuned. 10, 15 minutes max. We're going to be throwing some motherfucking knives. Later, everybody.